Nice. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our first level 2 workshop. This week's topic will be on pathfinding, right? So let me just share our semester 2 plan for NSGDG this semester. So from week 4 to week 6, we'll do some game AI stuff. So stuff like pathfinding, navigation, and finite state machines. Maybe do a boss design later. So in week 5, which is next week, Saturday, we'll have a game jam, which is our semester event, right? And after the midterms, from week 8 to week 9, we'll do some object-oriented programming in Godot, right? And from week 10 to week 12, we will do some multiplayer games. Okay, so maybe a difference from game start workshops is that for each of these workshops, each session, I'll only be talking for around 1 hour. So the workshops are designed to be shorter, but it will be very focused on a very small topic, and we will discuss into this dig deep into that topic. And then the remaining hour will be for you guys to do anything you like. Maybe form a team to do a level 2 game. Maybe do your own game project, anything like that. Right. Okay. So this week, will be our focus is on pathfinding. So there are some. I'll just show the end product first. You can see there are some enemies and a player and some obstacles on the map. So we'll try to make the enemies find their path to the player and finally navigate all the way and stop at the player. Yeah. So this will cover navigation mesh baking, enemy pathfinding, and obstacle avoidance. Right. So this workshop will be interactive. So the same thing as last semester. So there will be a game project for you to code on, and just follow my coding during the workshop, and then yeah, we'll reach the same end product at the end of the workshop. Okay. So navigation mesh baking. Okay, very cheap terms. So, but what it actually means is just to create a region where navigation happens. Yeah, that's all. So navigation mesh is mesh. What is mesh? Mesh is like a network structure, right? So it creates a certain kind of region with a structure inside where navigation can happen. And how Godot handle navigation is through something called A star algorithm. Um, is if I learn algorithm before, A star is the cost so far plus the heuristic cost to the goal, right? So basically, if you never define anything, it's just the shortest path from the agent to the target position, right? You can just think of it as the shortest path. So there are a few methods to create this navigation region. Right, method one is the most simple one. We just manually create those regions. Okay, let's go to Godot. Okay, I hope you guys have all pulled from the correct branch. It should be the before branch. So the before branch is for is before the workshop, right? So we work on the before branch, and then there's also an after branch. So if some of you may find it hard to follow along, you can just refer to the after workshop to refer to the code. Right. Right. So let's go to the. So in this game project, I have already coded or added some of the scenes. So there's a game scene. There's a goblin scene, which is the enemy that we're trying to create today. There's a map scene with a tile map inside. Also a player scene, right, which is our character. And also I have written the code for player movements, right? Just some simple top-down movements with some UI or with some sprite changes, right? And there's also a rock scene, which is intended to be the obstacle for this game, right? So to start, uh, let's go to the game. So in this game project, I have already coded some of the scenes. So there's a game scene. There's a goblin scene, which is the enemy that we're trying to create today. There's a map scene with a tile map inside. Also a player scene, right, with some simple top-down movements with some UI or with some sprite changes, right? And there's also a rock scene, which is intended to be the obstacle for this game, right? we'll start demonstrating how to create a navigation region. So let's just go to the game scene, right? The game scene has a level 1 node. And then let's just create the game first. So let's under the level 1 node, let's just add the map to the game, right? And let's just put all the stuff inside. Like we can add the player first, as well as the goblins, right? So right, you just instantiate child scene and choose all the stuff you need. So for the rock, we can leave it for later. And now let's just drag all these to any position you like. Let's say for goblin, we can duplicate a few goblins. Make sure they're on the correct level. Okay, so now our game has all these things, but yeah, we can try it first. So you should be able to move the player now because I have already defined how the player moves. So when you press the arrow keys or the WASD, you'll be able to move the player around. Just make sure that it's working. And our goal today is just to make those goblins move toward the player and try to find the path. Okay, so let's first demonstrate how to create a navigation region. So at the level 1 node, you can add a child node and search for navigation region. Right, so choose the navigation region 2D. Okay, so this node is just to define a region, define the navigation region, right? So it should have a shape as its children. So for the navigation region 2D, let's add a child navigation. Okay, sorry, so not here, not here. Okay, sorry. The shape is added at the navigation polygon. Right. So at the inspector, choose the new navigation polygon. Right. And now you'll see the top tab has changed. So now this means you add dots, right? It's just same as any polygon you use in Godot. This is select a dot, this is delete a dot. So we can create a polygon by adding dots to our scene, right? So let's just add a simple rectangle for now. Okay. So as you can see, we have defined a polygon shape for the navigation region. And this just means that inside this rectangle region, navigation will happen. Okay. Any issues?
Just click on this, like the moving neighbors and then, oh, because you're in the move mode, you click the cursor. The move mode is not. It always messes.
Yeah, make sure to
messes with everything.
Yeah, that's correct. Make sure it's this select mode. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so just as I explained here, you should have navigation region 2D as a parent. Okay, maybe I made a mistake here. So this is not, it's not the navigation polygon 2D as children, but you just specify it in the inspector, right? And then we can add children to this navigation region, which is this navigation obstacle 2D. Right. So a navigation obstacle basically is something that the navigation agents should avoid. Right. When they are navigating, they should avoid the obstacles. Very easy. Right. So You can also see that there are some these green blue polygon function here. So we can just similarly try to create a polygon. And this region that we create will be the region for the navigation obstacle, right? And if you look at the inspector for the navigation obstacle, there are some options. So inside the navigation mesh, let's tick both of these options, right? So these options will allow this region to affect the parent navigation region, and also carve a hole inside the navigation region, right? So now, if you go to navigation region and you choose this big navigation polygon, right, you can see that the entire region has been divided into 4 smaller polygons because the shape has been affected by this obstacle, right? So inside navigation region, you choose this, click on this big navigation polygon.
But like,
Do I make the polygon in the
but you
navigation
did not make
polygon object
stop cooking.
like this
Yes.
in this
Wait,
object?
hold on.
You're trying to do on the obstacle.
The entire thing disappeared. Wait, hold on.
Like I'm trying to make the,
Then
but I didn't see the.
Oh,
head.
okay. Yeah, I don't know. The thing
I
disappeared.
think I missed how to.
Oh, I think you make sure this is selected, the obstacle 2D is selected. And then you add the,
Like this.
no, use the green one to create.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
And bake it to see. I think you created an extra region just now in the navigation region 2D. Try to
Undo.
move it around. Yeah, try to undo. Try saving it, probably still. And then bake. Oh, you haven't selected these options.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
select this. Yeah, that's fine.
Both-
Okay, both of them, yes. So yeah, make sure that you are creating this region under the obstacle, and both of these are selected. And go back and remember to bake so that all your changes are reflected at the end. Yeah. Okay, so now we have defined this very simple navigation region, right? And what we're gonna do now is to add an enemy script to make it navigate inside this region. Okay, so let's go to goblin.gd. We could just go to the goblin scene, right? Because we need to add a child node to the goblin character node. So the thing we add is this navigation agent 2D. So under the goblin node, add a navigation agent 2D, right? Okay, so this navigation agent 2D, let me just show. Okay, so this is by the name is an agent that tries to navigate inside the region, right? So if you want to know what's happening behind the scene, right? So there, Godot has a navigation server, and on the server, each of the agent will try to navigate in every physics frame, tries to navigate to its target position in every physics frame, and then it's going to indicate the next position that it should go to by its pathfinding. And you should note that this navigation has zero effect on the movement and collision of the enemy. It only informs you what the next position should be. And it is your job to define the movement and collision of the enemy, right? Okay, so let's see how this works. And first, let's access this navigation agent 2D. So let's add an onReady. If you don't know, this handle just means this variable will be defined when after this ready, after the game is ready, right? So on ready var, let's just call it navigation agent, navigation underscore agent equals let's drag this inside. So now we can access the navigation agent inside our code. Right? And let's also define a target variable. Let's just call it null. So our logic here is after the game is ready, we will make the target the player. We'll assign the player to the target variable. And then in every physics process, we will try to follow the target position. Okay, for that purpose, let's just define a function called, so we should first set up the navigation agent, set up navigation. Then what we do here is just assign the target, assign the player to the target, target equals player, right? And let's also have another function called follow player, follow player. So first, this will check if the target has been assigned. So if target, that means we have assigned player to the target. If target, then our navigation agent, let's set the target position of our navigation agent to be the player's position. So let's just do navigation agent dot target position equals player dot global position. Right. We will use global position for everything in our navigation. Just to
target dot global position or player dot. I mean, it's not it's no difference here, but should be target or player dot global position.
Okay. So I mean, it's no difference, but it's better to use target. Yeah, you're right. just to make the logic more apparent, right? So we will assign the target's global position to the target position of the navigation agent. Right. So what this follow player will update the target position of the navigation agent to be the current position of the target. Right. That this is to ensure that when our target moves around, it still follows the target. Okay. Right. So let's add these functions in our logic. So in the ready function. Okay. So you may think that we will use the setup navigation, but we'll just call the setup navigation function. But there's a catch here. There's a caveat here that we should use call deferred. Call deferred setup navigation. We will provide the name of this function as a string to this call deferred function. So why is this important? Because so what call deferred does is to only call this function at the end of this frame. When it's in the ready function, it will only call it after the game tree is ready, right? So this is important because there will be some issue if we just call it directly. If we just call it directly without the game being ready, without the position of the goblins being correctly assigned, right? All the initial position will be 0. And then then the navigation agent will treat these positions as equal, and then the navigation has finished. So in other words, if we call this before the game tree is ready, the default position will all be 0. That's why the navigation will have finished even before the game starts, right? But there will be some problems if we don't call deferred, right? So yeah, that's for the ready function. That's for setting up the navigation. And then in the physics process, we will first check if the navigation has finished or not. So the way we do that is just there's a property under the navigation agent. So if navigation agent dot navigation finished. No, not this one. Not this one is a signal. I saw it. Is navigate dot is navigation finished. Yeah, this is a function that queries whether the navigation has finished. Right. So if it has finished, we just return. Maybe we can print finished just for debugging. Okay, so if it has not finished, we will just call the follow player function. Follow player function to make it follow the player. Right, that means to update the target position. But remember, as I said, this has no effect on the movement of the enemy. We need to handle that separately, right? So how do we handle that? The navigation agent will indicate the next position, right? So we can get the next position from one of its properties, which is get next path position, right? This is a function of the navigation agent that will notify you what's the next position it should navigate to. Let's just call it next variable next position equals this get next path position, right? So just do your usual stuff when you do when you change the velocity. So let's just bar direction equals next position dot direction 2, right? Direction 2, the global position of the goblin. So this will tell us the direction of its movement. And then velocity is just direction times speed. So we just change the velocity equals direction times speed. Yeah. And after that, it's just going to move and slide according to the velocity, which I've already written here. So let's just try, just see. Wait, something is not working yet. Let me see why. Okay, by the way, you guys can go to the debug tab and enable this visible navigation, right? And also in the navigation agent 2D, you can, there's a debug function. And if you enable the debug, you should be able to see something like this. That's when you play the game, it will display all the navigation shapes as well as the navigation of the enemies, of the navigation agents. Okay, these red lines with dots is the navigation of the enemies. Okay. See what's wrong here. I think there is a missed one line here. I think it's await get tree dot I need to refer a bit.
Yeah, debug, then you turn on the navigation.
This frame.
I thought it's like the variable naming is different. What exactly is it? No, this one is very common. Like, you just like control as a tiny way go away. Like really.
Layer.
Because the thing is gone. I don't know why it's gone.
Oh,
Like it's your screen even in the editor should be like this. Try pressing the thing, the square. Now you have it.
Why is it not working? Yeah,
But does the await tree get physics frame not work?
yeah, it doesn't work.
Ah. You need to call follow player at the start of every frame, but no man.
Hey, did I not call?
Like you need to call it before the navigation finish.
Oh, right. You're right. Otherwise, it will be finished from the start. Then it won't ever call. Right. So thanks. So we should follow player first and then check if navigation has finished. It seems it's opposite. Oh, sorry. It should be global positions direction to the next position. Oh, can also minus direction, but just but direction to next position.
Wait, that's pretty cool. It doesn't. I think the guys are like, stop. I'm safe from. I'm safe from them. No, because they're confined within they're confined within the thing. So like, they can chase me here, but they can't chase me here. Because this is out of their navigation area.
So wait, is it like they're stuck inside the obstacle region?
Yeah, I'm stuck in the obstacle region. Then like they cannot chase me inside the obstacle region.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. But the guy is spasming because he's like.
I don't think it's a dog error.
What do you have?
What is away?
Oh, it's a now instance. Wait, do you initialize navigation engine?
I think it's
Here's
It's-
what-
yeah,
here's
like that.
what-
Yes.
Oh, like, huh? Wait, no, because like you should add the navigation agent to, not this goblin, because you're adding navigation agent to this singular goblin, but you should add it to the goblin scene so that every goblin has the navigation agent.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Okay, so like you first delete this navigation agent. You delete this one first. You
and just copy paste to the goblin as well.
Yeah, when you go to the goblin scene itself, then you add the navigation agent to. Yeah. So like now every goblin will have the navigation scene. I mean navigation agent. It's no because it's finished with you, right? Like it, so basically right, the problem is the follow player needs to go above this line.
Yeah. I mean, at the start of this editing process.
Why do you not move it? Okay, that's like you
They're,
have it.
they're looking at me.
Have you
I
done
see
the
that
change?
pathfinding.
Have you done the change thing yet? Like
Okay,
you,
change.
now you need to move the follow player above the.
Wait,
Then why are they not moving?
I probably did.
turn on the debug under the navigation agent. The navigation agent inside the goblin.
No.
There's a debug, right? Just enable. So it will show all the red dots.
Your direction is next position, the direction to next position. Like. Because okay, next position is where you're going to, right? But like goal position is like where you are right now. But like okay, anyways, like
Oh, so this is.
because okay, goal position is where you are at right now. Next position is where you want to go to. So then you're getting the vector and you. Wait, does the rock actually block people already?
I just put the avoidance area at the rock.
No, but like they seem to be able to look around the rock, you know?
Yeah, because I manually put it there.
Oh, right. So you put an obstacle
Put obstacle there.
around the rock. Then
It's
okay.
cute though. Okay.
But yeah, they don't attack you when you don't attack them.
It's okay. You can add it.
Yeah, can add it in your free time later.
How do we do that? We get through.
And it's also just to make sure that the physics frame has started before you set up the target. It's just actually I'm not sure if what happens if we remove this line.
I think one of the lines is not necessary. Like, I do not know which one.
Ah,
is not
okay.
necessary.
Okay, I guess this is not necessary. Okay, okay, sure.
It's like yeah.
So let's
the
try.
race condition is very annoying.
Yeah. Let's also try having the setup navigation, but keeping the await. And it also works. Okay, nice. Yeah, so it does the same thing as a call defer. Yeah, correct. Okay, nice. Okay, so maybe we can add something, can set up the animation of the goblin as well. So in the goblin, there is an animation, wait. In the animated sprite of the goblin, I have already defined the idle the animation and the run animation. So we can just change the animation based on whether it is navigating, right? So if the navigation has finished, we just make the sprite dot play idle because it has already reached the player. Then it just go idle. And if it's not finished, means that it's still running to the player. We just sprite dot play run. Right. This is to, yeah, you can see the goblins are running when they are chasing toward the player, and they stop after they finish. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is the first way to bake a navigation mesh and just set up the navigation. But imagine you are making a game with 10 levels. Each level is like 1 hour. You cannot manually create everything, right? You cannot manually add the navigation region to every map that you're gonna create. So we are gonna introduce method 2, which is having the navigation layer in the tile set. So we can enable the navigation for the tile map, and then just define the navigation for each of the tile set when we add to the game. Now let's go to the map. Okay, so inside the map, if you choose a tile set, then there is a navigation layer option. There's this tab here. Like by default, this one's not here. So I added for you. Well, when you make your own game, you should add a navigation layer here. And then when you go to tile set and select a tile, you should see there's a navigation layer here. And you can define the navigation shape for each of the tiles. Okay. So here I have already defined for these two tiles.
Open this thing again.
Okay, so go to tile map and click on the tile set first. Actually, no need. Just click on this tile set
You click
here.
tile set at the bottom.
Tile set here, yeah. And then select.
If you the bottom of the page, you click tile set.
Yeah. Select one of the tiles.
Yeah.
You should see the navigation layer. All right. And I have already drawn the navigation layer for these two tiles. And your task now is just try to draw the navigation layer for this middle tile, right? So the same thing, just add the polygon vertices to this tile, around this tile, to make a square. Wait, the show grid. go to tile set, the tile set, right? Select and choose one of the tiles. And there should be a navigation tab here. Yeah. Right. Make sure that you're choosing this middle tile and then expand this, maybe zoom out a bit. So you can add the polygon vertices here. And just click on this expand button. Yeah, maybe it's different on Windows. Yeah, I remember it's easier on Windows. Okay. So it's easier if you turn on the grid snap. Then it's easier for you to place all the vertices. Just do it again. It should be, wait, it should be this three dot button. Yeah. Okay. This one, actually this one. Okay. Okay, everyone add the vertices to make a square navigation region. Okay, so after that is done, if we go to the map, then the region is not shown here. That's because we haven't turned on the navigation. And it should be here, right? So make sure it's not the tile set property. It's under the tile map property inspector. There is a navigation tab. And then here is whether you enable the navigation for this tile map or not. Right. So make sure that this one is selected. And I'm not sure why it's not showing, should show here, but never mind. Okay, so anyways, our map has navigation layer now, and let's just delete this navigation region. Yeah, and see whether it works. Right. I mean, it's visible when you play the game. When you enable the navigation for the map, it will be automatically baked when you start the game. I don't know. So each of the tile set will have the navigation layer. Yeah, there's no collision with the rock yet because we're gonna avoid it.
The player has collision with the rock.
Because we're gonna make them avoid the rock later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so just a caution here. Please avoid overlapping navigation regions on the same layer. Or maybe I should touch on the navigation layer a bit. Right, so this one I have set up for you, but you should take note that each of the navigation region has a layer. If you go to the tile set and under the navigation layers, it's similar to collision layer that you define a layer for the navigation, right? So for this tile set where it's its own navigation layer 1, and for the goblin, the navigation agent has under the pathfinding, there is navigation layer 1. So the goblin this agent will only navigate on navigation layer 1. That means only the region under layer 1 is effective for its navigation. Just something to take note. Okay, and avoid having the same layer navigation region overlapping each other, because that will affect how the A-star work. Right? Yeah. If you do that, it will encounter some very weird behavior because it's not sure if it should follow which one of the overlapping region. And then, yeah, the navigation just doesn't work. Okay, so the last part of today's workshop is obstacle avoidance, right? So to enable the avoidance, we just go to the navigation agent 2D. Right, there is another tab called avoidance. and we just turn on the avoidance. And there are some fields of this avoidance. So this radius just means how what's the how close it is to an obstacle that you should start avoiding. Maybe we can change this to maybe a larger value like 30 pixels. So when it's 30 pixels away from an obstacle, then it will try to avoid that obstacle. It's in the agent and then avoidance. And then the neighbor distance is a distance that it scans for nearby obstacles. And then max neighbors is just how many obstacles you should consider at the same time. The lower this number is, the better the performance. So there is also some navigation avoidance layers and avoidance mask. This layer is is which obstacle is for the obstacles, right? So if you go to the never mind. So for each of the obstacles, there's an avoidance layer, and the agent has an avoidance mask, and it will just avoid obstacles on the layer one, similar to collision, right? So it will mask layer one means that it avoids of other obstacles on layer one, right? So later, if we add some other obstacles, we should make sure that they're on layer one as well. And each of the goblin is going to avoid other goblins as well because they are on layer one. Okay. All right. And for now, we don't have any obstacles, right? Because we have changed the navigation to the tile set. And unfortunately, Godot doesn't provide defining the obstacles in the tile set, right? That means you cannot add rock into this tile map and then say this is an obstacle. Godot doesn't have that function yet. But there's a smart workaround for that. Let me just show this first. So our method will be, we will bake the navigation region with the tile map as children, as a child of the region. Also the obstacles as a children of the region. And the tile map is able to provide a shape for the region. What I mean by that. So let's go to the game node. Under level 1, let's just add back that navigation region 2D. And we will put the map as the child of that region 2D. All right. So if we bake right now, even though we haven't added, you need to specify that it's a navigation polygon here, but just don't add any vertices. Even though we haven't added any vertices, when we bake, it still shows a shape. Why? It's because this region will this region will traverse through all its children. And if one of the child provides a shape, then it's going to apply to that region. And because
polygon shape is so weird.
that's because when you define the in the tile set.
Something
Yeah.
in the tile set. But it's not overlapping. Right?
It's not overlapping, just underlapping.
Right.
Okay, and just a caution, when you do this, when you bake the navigation region this way, remember to go to map and then disable the navigation of the map. Otherwise, it's going to have overlapping regions. Just make sure that disable the navigation for the map, and the map only provides the shape for the region to bake. So you should only make the region and enable the navigation of the region, and don't enable the navigation of the map. Yeah, that's it.
We do need a navigation polygon for the region.
We will need to specify it has a polygon, but we just don't draw the polygon. Yeah, it's required for the baking to work. Okay, so with this, we can go to rock and we
Isn't-
can
what should I
similar a similar logic. Go to rock and then add child node. We will add the
I
navigation
hope-
obstacles
and
under this rock.
He's hallucinating a lot.
Wait, anything wrong?
Yeah, a lot is wrong.
They only know how to move vertically.
That's because it's only connected vertically.
You know, they can move diagonally, but among there's tiny gaps.
Yeah.
Wait, I need to
can-
figure out,
It's in the power set, right?
like, is it not, like, is, you come here, this one, right?
This is because I have overlaid. Yes.
I think it's all same as.
Wait, do I,
Looks very
let me like,
This is how I choose the.
let me cancel out the points. Let me cancel out the points.
Oh,
No, I want to remove all the points.
Just enlarge it easier. I mean, there's a enlarge button. Zoom. And yeah, and now zoom in.
Where's the snap? Is this one, right? Yeah.
The snap. No, it's
Yeah.
it's somewhere here.
Where?
So here, the next one.
Why so much?
Yeah, the snap. Yeah.
Yeah, I do it like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why it's so
Why
weird.
you haven't?
Oh, okay, let's try this again.
Why you like that? Let me check your map.
Hey,
Go ahead.
just normal now.
Yeah, should be this one. If you select and you see oh. No, the larger part. Just try again. Does it work for you now?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Just do it again. It's a Mac issue. No, it's not a Mac issue. I also use Mac. What do you mean? Have you enabled grid snap?
My issue.
We should do that. Yeah, grid snap makes it very easy. Very like fault free tolerance.
So this method, right, it's just basically a first method, but we use the tile map just for the background.
What do you think?
Just for the background, yes. Correct.
Next, oh,
And this new method, we can add obstacles now.
do you have
Yeah.
that?
No, mine is like. It's full.
Oh,
Okay, our friends have some issues with the baking. So if your baking also has issues, go to tile. Let me just repeat that again. Go to map and go to tile set. When you specify the navigation region for this tile, right? Make sure that it's enlarged. Make sure you turn on grid snap. Yeah, if there's any error, any slight error here, it's going to multiply in the final product. As you know, it's a tile set, right? So yeah, just check that this is on the exact correct position on the 4 corners, and then it's gonna work. Okay. So the real magic for this third method is when you go to rock and add a navigation obstacle under the rock, right? And this obstacle also remember to enable this affect navigation and carve navigation and specify the region for this obstacle. Okay, just similarly add the polygon vertices to the obstacle. All right, so every rock has a navigation obstacle now. And then what we do now is just to add rocks under this navigation region. So under the navigation region, we will instantiate child scene, which is the rock. Just put it anywhere you like and maybe duplicate a few rocks. Okay. Wait, what's happening? I'll just copy paste. Okay, let's just create a few rocks. Okay. And wait. As I mentioned, when you do baking, it will traverse through all of its children, get their navigation shapes, and then bake together. So the magic happens when you bake here. Then it's going to check all the avoidance regions and navigation regions of all the children, including the map and all the rocks. Then it's going to bake very nicely.
Just
Yeah.
like linear triangulation or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Some crazy about it.
Yeah, very crazy.
And they run through rocks. Yeah, they
No, we haven't added the avoidance script yet. Yeah. This is just to specify the region. Just an easy way for you to use tile map navigation along with the avoidance objects. Right.
They can run over the rocks. Yeah.
You can run like it's because
The rocks have gaps.
the red area is like
Yeah, but like I don't know for you, like they cannot run into the rocks. Like
no, they can't run into it.
for me, right, they can just run over the rocks.
So why can the enemies run into the rock?
Because they don't have collision shape
And
yet.
then
We're just gonna use avoidance as the collision.
It's just that you're too fat. Wait, no, you're not too fat. Wait, you're almost.
actually, wait, I'm stuck.
Okay, is everyone ready? Okay, let's go to our goblin script and add avoidance. Okay, I'll show this. So similar to navigation, avoidance also doesn't affect the movement of the agent. It only notifies a safe velocity through a signal called velocity computed. This safe velocity is a safe velocity that the agent can have to avoid collision, to avoid the obstacles, basically. You have to manually get this velocity from this signal and then specify the movement accordingly. Okay, so if we go to the goblin scene, and in the node tab of the navigation agent, you can find this velocity computed signal. Just double click and add it to the goblin script. All right.
Okay. That note, yeah. Velocity computer.
Velocity computed.
And just click. Then you have a new piece of code. Okay. Actually, that's signals.
No idea what that is.
See Godot thing.
What does your what does the signal have a type?
It doesn't have a type. No, the type of the signal is void one.
Your one doesn't have the return type. Is it 4.3 or other version? 4.3. Oh, very weird. Maybe some setting is just try to find. Okay, so
No. I think it's
Yes,
typing on.
maybe it's because it's new, very new. Yeah. Okay, so under this signal, we will just change the velocity of the agent to be the safe velocity that it provides. Velocity equals safe velocity. Okay, so but we still need to change stuff here. Otherwise, these two assignments may be out of order and we still get the wrong velocity, right? So we will change this velocity to just a new variable new velocity. Okay, and then we can check first if our agent has avoidance enabled, right? So if navigation agent dot is avoidance enabled. Forgot. What should I add here? Oh, right. This avoidance only doesn't work by the default velocity property of the goblin, right? It only works on the velocity of the navigation agent. So we need to set the velocity of the agent to be the new velocity, right? So now what we should do is navigation agent dot velocity equals this new velocity. And if the avoidance is not enabled, then the velocity should just be the new velocity because it has no avoidance new velocity, right? So the logic here is if it has avoidance enabled, then we first provide this new velocity to the agent. Then the agent is going to compute the avoidance and then return you the safe velocity through the signal, right? And you will set the velocity to be this safe velocity, which has counted the avoidance, right? Now let's try. Okay. Oh, it's not this. Avoidance. It's not this. Huh?
It's not a function, it's just it's not
Oh, right. Avoidance enabled. Okay. Then you can see that although they have no collision shape with the rock, they'll still be able to navigate around the rock because of this avoidance. All right. Yeah. If you look closely, sometimes they have a velocity on the opposite direction to move away from the rock. But because this is happening every frame, this is very hard to see that. Right? It's going to follow the shape, the frame of the rock very nicely. But sometimes you can see now, right? It moves to the opposite direction of the rock. Okay, so that is for avoidance. Yeah, and by the way, because each of our goblin is on layer 1 and they avoid layer 1, so they're gonna avoid each other as well. So if you try to make them move together, you can see that they don't overlap as they did before, right? Because of the avoidance. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that should be all for this week. Yeah, that's all for this week. And I hope you learned something new this week and find this really cool, just as I did. And yeah, that's the end of this workshop. And next week we are going to cover finite state machines. Finite state machines for the player, for each of the enemy, and for the boss, maybe. Yeah, just to add more fun to the game by creating skills, creating different scenarios for each of these characters. Yeah, so that's all for this workshop. And for those watching, please come next week. We need more attendance. Please come. Okay, it's more fun and more effective when you come, right? So please come. Okay.
Avoiding the obstacle or the other agent.
Both everything on the same layer, on the avoidance layer. That is masking.
About drawing lines. Wait, it's dude. I never knew.
Where do they get like the signatures?
Um,
How is this?
Where's my progress reset?
when you set the velocity of the agent, then it has a new velocity, and then in each frame, it's going to use this velocity and the position of nearby obstacles
you cannot
to compute
you die
the safe velocity that it should go to avoid the obstacles.
So the logic is within the game.
It's within the agent.
Within the
And
agent.
it's going to return. It's going to update this every frame. It's going to update the safe velocity through this signal every frame.
It's actually pretty deep, surprisingly.
This is the function.
It's not a function call. It's there's no function being called here.
This one is called every frame.
This one, yeah, this one's being called every frame,
Yeah.
also signal. Yeah.
We're just simply setting the velocity, and this will just be called to
Call
set
and
the
then set also
speed
the
with
and
this.
then yes, correct. Yeah. The signal is called every frame. Yes, it is. You can also set a timer condition. You can add yourself. Okay.
So without the signal, the agent will just, like the velocity won't
Won't be
get
updated.
updated
Yeah.
every frame. Every
Yes,
frame.
every frame.
Yeah, so the most important thing to take away this workshop is the navigation and the avoidance don't change the movement. You have to update yourself. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so thanks for watching. Thanks for coming, and see you next week.